Hello, everyone. For the first time here on my channel, I'm going to give you guys a review on a documentary that I've just seen. The documentary that I'm reviewing is from 2023 called Bye Bye Barry, which focuses on NFL legend, Hall of Famer, and arguably one of the greatest running backs to ever play professional football, as well as college football, in Barry Sanders. This focused on primarily his sudden retirement after an illustrious 10-year career, all with the Detroit Lions, in which he proceeded to rush 1,000+ yards in each of those 10 seasons. As a matter of fact, in 1997, he rushed for 2,053 yards. The man, I think, is still among the all-time rushing yard leaders. Obviously, the all-time leader in rushing yards in NFL history is still to this day Emmitt Smith. But I think a lot of people can agree that even though Emmitt Smith had a team around him, Barry Sanders had better success in terms of winning. Emmitt Smith, I can't even talk straight. Even though Emmitt Smith had better success in terms of winning championships, he had a team around him. Well, people have said that Barry was the better player. It is what it is. But yeah, this is easily one of the best documentaries I've ever watched. This documentary was so damn good. It featured perspectives from Tim Allen, who's a Detroit Lions fan, Eminem, Detroit Lions fan, Jamil Hill, Detroit Lions fan, Jeff Daniels, Detroit Lions fan. Allen, Jeff Daniels, Eminem, Jamil Hill. Jalen Rose, former NBA player who also happens to be a Detroit Lions fan. It also featured perspectives from Bill Belichick, Aaron Glenn, who's currently the Jets head coach, who at one point was the defense coordinator of the Detroit Lions. Featured Dan Patrick, a pretty respected reporter and NFL analyst and sports analyst. And it featured a few of his teammates, including former Detroit Lions wide receiver Herman Moore. It even featured the likes of the great Calvin Johnson, who's a Detroit Lions legend himself and Pro Football Hall of Famer. Hell, speaking of Emmitt Smith, it even featured him in this doc. Emmitt Smith even talked about it. So there's that. So that's pretty nice. Even featured various members of his family, like Barry's mom, aunt, his brothers, his sisters, his kids. This was a damn good documentary. If there's one thing I can say that I was impressed with, not only did a great job at showcasing the greatness of Barry Sanders as a football player, it even did a great job at showcasing, hey, Barry's not only a Hall of Fame football player, he's a Hall of Fame person. Since day one, he's been humble. His father, who unfortunately passed away in 2011 from lymphoma, was one of Barry Sanders' biggest supporters. I'll never forget watching the clip where he presented Barry at the Hall of Fame. First, I want to say hello to the greatest running back to ever live. Unfortunately, he's gone now. Jim Brown. Hello, Mr. Jim Brown. Unfortunately, he's not here today. He and his family are in Los Angeles. So, hello again, Mr. Jim Brown. Now, I want to introduce you to the third greatest running back of all time, Barry Sanders. And I'm just like, that's a pip right there. That's a pip right there. But yeah, I mean, this was a damn good documentary. What I love is unfortunately, I did not get it. I did not take the opportunity to watch Barry Sanders kick ass in the NFL growing up. By the time he retired, I was at least 4 or 5 years old, and I wasn't really interested in pro football at that point. The only sport that I really watched was Major League Baseball. And of course, you guys know I grew up a huge fan of the New York Yankees. But if there was obviously Barry Sanders, from what I've heard from my dad, from what I've seen from various NFL highlight videos, Barry Sanders was an incredible football player. He really, really was, and he was an incredible football player. So yeah, but yeah, as for the documentary, this was awesome. Talked about Barry Sanders' life, his family life, well, what he was as a kid growing up, what he was like in college, what he was like in 10 years Detroit, and why he decided to retire. Personally, I don't think it was just his desire. I think he was also kind of disappointed with the direction the Detroit Lions were headed, especially down the stretch of his career. But you know what? Barry Sanders, he put it out on the field. He wasn't a jerk about it. And he was classy about it. So that's all I could say about that. So if you want me to give my grade on this documentary, it easily gets a 10 out of 10 and an A+. It's an excellent documentary. If you haven't seen it, go watch it on Amazon Prime. It's an amazing documentary. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.